My friends, my friends, my friends, come on in. Get on in here. Because we got some things to talk about today. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that like, that subscribe button. Well, you know, I'm not begging for subscribers. If the spirit moves you, go ahead and hit that button. Make sure you leave some comments. Let everybody know we about to it's about to be a show. It's about to be a show today. Okay? Y'all know why we're here. Y'all know why we're here. We're gonna get this thing started in just a second. Don't go nowhere. Thank you for being here. It's your girl Jazz back again with another live stream. I think this is going to be a good one. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. What's up? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Who's all here? I see you, Magnetar. I see you, Dope Frank. I see you, everybody else. Listen, thank you for pulling up. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, all the things, y'all, all the things. So, you saw the thumbnail. You saw why we're here, and I know I'm a little late to this conversation, but there was no way. There was absolutely no way I wasn't going to give my 2 cents on this, okay? So, you know, recently, and I'm going to also say, you guys, I am getting over a cold. I feel much better today. But if you hear me off mic, that's just what it is. Just going to keep it going. But you all have seen the debate so far, right? With Pearl and Miss Anna Kasparian, right? Fried her ass. Oh, my little lotion. Fried her ass. Pearl got cooked to oblivion. And I must say, if you know, you know. You know where I'm like, that's what your ass get. Because at the end of the day, what it exposed is that you're not really smart, babe. You're just able to enter certain spaces and dominate the conversation. And because you have a large following, that you get away with a lot of bullshit. But my, did that table turn when it was live and in color on that stage, baby. Good day. So we're going to talk about it today. We're going to get into a little bit of that. Her debate from beginning, middle, and we're going to play her response because that was a gag. And then we're going to touch on a little bit like recapping the whole Anton and Corey thing because the saga continues with that shit. So once again, thank y'all for being up in here today. Happy Thursday. And I think it's time to get it on started. He said, I don't watch Pearl. No one should. But hey, millions of people do. So let's see here. Okay. So we're going to play the beginning of the debate, like during their opening statements, as she's walking in. And it's just like, Pearl, do you have a stylist? You was coming to this major event, and this is what you chose? To slay a feminist liberal dragon? Not starting off right, but let's go.
All right, Pearl, welcome.
Oh my
I'm
God.
asking the same question. If you're going to change somebody's mind tonight, one person, that one person, how are you going to do it?
I'm going to let the facts speak for themselves.
Fair enough. All right.
We'll see. We will see.
Ladies and gentlemen, this debate, our main card, has a little bit of a different format than what we did previously. We're going to have the opening statements for both of you. Those will be 5 minutes apiece. Then you'll each get 10 minutes to kind of do an interrogatory of the other. That will go back and forth. And then after that, we'll go into open debate. As you saw with some of the other debates earlier, we try to let the other person answer. I'll try to jump in as I can, but for the most part, I want you all to mix it up, all right? Have fun with it.
Sounds good.
And who is first?
I'm first.
First of all, it's just, I gotta roast you, Pearl, because you talk too much shit, mama. You talk too much shit in the caucasity of you to talk so much shit and come to a major event looking like this. Looking the way you do. Man, let me stop. Let's keep going.
I thought so. Anna, take it away. We got 5 minutes.
Imagine being able to build an app with
I know
your
you
name
fucking
on
lying.
it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
In a May 2024 appearance on Tim Pool's Culture War podcast, my opponent, Pearl Davis, declared that women aren't really doing much. We're not having kids. We're not really contributing to the economy when you look at output. In fact, she uses this ridiculous assertion to argue that women should not have the right to vote. While it's true the birth rate has declined, and we'll revisit that in a bit, women account for 47% of the American workforce. The Council of Economic Advisors found that women have contributed a substantial portion of the US economic growth since 1970, which wouldn't have been made possible without the feminist movement. By 2017, women were responsible for nearly 40% of total gross domestic product, amounting to a whopping $7.6 trillion. Of course, that figure doesn't include the trillions of dollars in unpaid labor women do every year, tending to the household, raising children, and caring for ailing parents. And when it comes to certain sectors of our economy, women are a dominant and indispensable force. Like in the healthcare industry, where they make up nearly 80% of workers, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
And these are all true facts. And what's so funny is that I've said these things before on different panels. This is just very interesting for me to watch because all of the things that Anna is saying is pure facts. I have said these things a tremendous amount of times on several different panels, just trying to share how much women contribute to society. But male-centered women and extremely patriarchal men, just for some reason, don't want to believe those facts. That's why I say, why would you not want women to have rights or be able to work when we contribute greatly to the society that you benefit from? Why do y'all do that? It's very weird, but let's keep going.
That's 16.4 million women. When it comes to education, in 1960, women earned less than 35% of all bachelor's degrees. Today, they earn roughly 58% of all bachelor's degrees, which Pearl herself benefited from after graduating from Elmhurst University. Women also earn over 60% of master's degrees. I hope to hear Pearl explain how a more educated and skilled population somehow translates to cultural decline, especially as we compete with China in this increasingly multipolar world. The modern feminist movement also had a major impact on decreasing domestic violence, and that's according to the US Department of Justice. Rates of intimate partner violence decreased by more than 60% from 1994 to 2010. And that's thanks to protective order statutes and funding for shelters beginning in the 1970s and 80s. Not only did the two-income household become more financially resilient, especially during economic downturns, women gained the ability to leave abusive relationships, an outcome correlated with improved child health and educational attainment.
Okay.
A culture that protects.
I'm gonna fast forward this shit. We get it. Let's go ahead and get a Pearl side, y'all. Because I just wanted y'all to get a quick little recap of their opening statements and what prefaced this whole entire thing, and kind of compare Anna's points to Pearl's. Because there's not a lot of data that backs up Pearl's talking point, but because it's believed by the masses, she states them as facts.
Women are too fat and STD infected.
Right.
25%, that's a lot.
You
Ivory.
And let's go.
Most debaters and commentators are elitists who tell average Americans from their ivory towers what to think and how to feel. My answer to this question not only comes from covering current events and researching the facts, data, and statistics, but also in my professional experience interviewing over 1,000 people in America and Western nations. Feminism has given women power, and power corrupts. And that's what's happening.
Feminism has given women power, and power corrupts. What power do women have in society? What laws are women making? How are we corrupting society? Feminism made women empowered because, like Anna was saying, before we were able to be empowered and have our own autonomy, we were literally viewed as property of men. We couldn't do shit. So then when we are able to be self-sufficient and be independent, somehow that is corrupting who exactly? How is our independence corrupting society? I don't want to hear nothing about no motherfucking abortions, and I don't want to hear nothing about no sex work. Because that's what y'all love to say. Oh, well, you know, there's so many whores out here, and there's a lot of women who are not. Oh, y'all getting ABs or you know, you're unaliving your babies, and that's not your business. That's not your business. Maybe make society more and like make it easier for women to want to have a child in this economy. Childcare is expensive as fuck. Y'all not incentivizing women to just have babies out here. It's not like y'all gonna come help them from the time they enter the room to the time that they're out to the time that they're grown. Y'all don't care about the babies until you only care about these babies when they're in the womb, right? So I don't want to go on a rambling tangent, but I need y'all to check that logic sometimes because it makes absolutely no sense.
Feminism is robbing men of their disposable income and their prime earning years.
How? Where does she get that from? Feminism is robbing men in their earlier years. Like what?
Feminism has empowered women. It has empowered women to be sexually promiscuous. Feminists say that they fought for women to not subject themselves to the approval of men. Why then are 5 to 10% of women between the ages of 18 to 25 on OnlyFans or other prostitution websites?
Because that's their business. And why are you mad? So now you mad at prostitution? When that's like the oldest play in the book? Pimps and hoes been around for a very long time. And somehow, wait a minute. So you're saying women have robbed men. Feminism has robbed men. How? I need you to explain that one. And then to say here, what'd you say?
On OnlyFans or other prostitution websites.
Why are y'all so obsessed with OnlyFans models? Who cares? Listen to the age group. You said between 18 to 25. We're grown adults here. Why are we so obsessed with women who choose? Yes, it's not, we don't want the approvals of men, but if we have the option and we choose to go that lane, that's our business. How does that affect and impact men in a negative way when they are the number one consumers of OnlyFans and prostitutes? Why are you blaming women when they're the ones that's keeping the market alive? No, and no one's forcing them to do it. No one is forcing these men to get OnlyFans accounts and look at naked women on the internet. No one is forcing them to do that. Yet they are doing it in mass. Mostly done by white married men, Pearl. But you ain't gonna throw that stat out there.
Websites. There are more online prostitutes in America than female Walmart employees. 1 of 3 women will...
Because not everybody want to work at fucking Walmart. What type of analogy was that?
catch an STD at some point in their lifetime. 90% will catch HPV, which is incurable. Feminism has empowered women to abort 1/8 of the world population and 1/3 of Gen Z. Feminists have been so empowered to commit paternity fraud. Paternity fraud is unpunished in any state in the USA or any country in the West. If done correctly, a man will have to pay for a child he was fooled into believing was his until that child reaches maturity. In some states, that man will also have to pay for that kid's college. That is slavery and is forbidden under the 13th Amendment. 1/3 of paternity tests are negative by the American Association of Blood Banks. Feminism has empowered women to rob men of their time, their resources, their reputation, their children, and in the most extreme cases, their lives.
Oh my God, no.
They do this through child support, alimony, false allegations, and paternity.
Child support is something that happens after you stop doing what you're supposed to be doing as a father or as a mother. I don't know why so many people think only men pay child support. Women pay child support too. And that is a result of something. If you're a deadbeat or if you're not showing up, they're going to put you on a child support. And that was a law created by who? Men. Okay? So to say that, oh, women are tripping men up and forcing them to be on child support, or are men tripping into coochie that they don't really value or respect, dropping loads off, and then here comes a baby, and now you mad you got to pay for it. Like, I'll never understand that logic. Alimony, another result of something that has happened. That's not a guarantee. Not everyone gets alimony, and not everyone becomes rich off of alimony. That's what I'm saying. Where did she get this from, y'all? Please let me know.
Fraud. How many people in this arena have a brother, a father, an uncle, or a friend who has gone through this meat grinder? Anna has been on the air for 15 years and is completely oblivious to these issues. It's a silent genocide of the lives of millions of men. Standing on the sidelines of the arena, I have 33-year combat veteran Terrence Popp. He served through 3 wars and was almost killed in 2. He got married, had 2 children, and served in the United States Army. Terrence Popp was deployed to Iraq in 2004, and as a member of the airborne infantry, he was wounded by a roadside bomb and suffered a TBI and a stroke from the blast. He was evacuated out of the country, and it took over 2 years until he had recovered. While he was recovering, his wife was plotting to divorce him. His wife murdered his 6-year-old chocolate lab out of spite because he filed for divorce first. When he confronted her, the response he got was, "I told you I did not want you living here." At this point, he was forced to leave the marital home and live out of his car. The divorce.
Look how he looking. He looks so proud that she brought this one anecdotal experience to try to prove that women are so horrible and doing this shit in mass. Meanwhile, he looked like, you know what?
Divorce took away his home, his children, and left him penniless and saddled with a child support payment he could not afford. Terrence had to pay $144,000 over a 12-year period for a divorce that his wife was empowered by feminists to plan and execute. Terrence went into court to fight for 50-50 custody. Terrence was called a murderer and an assassin in open court and was given 96 hours a month with his children. 96 hours a month is not a father. While homeless, he spoke to many other men who would never get off the streets due to child support arrearages and penalties, and the men constantly getting arrested for unpaid child support. The disparage of losing his children and his home, and his PTSD and constant pain from his wounds, he became suicidal. While at his post in 2008, a former commander took the bullet that was meant for him.
Okay.
For every life that he has saved. Now, why am I telling you this? Shout out to Terrence. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now, why am I telling you this? Because men and American veterans are put in this position because of the empowerment that feminists like Anna have pushed for. There are millions of men that have died in this country from the political power that feminism pushes. Since 1970, an estimated 1.6 million men have committed suicide.
Time. Stop there.
If feminists cared about equality, why aren't they fighting for equality in divorce and family court as hard as they are fighting for abortion, working, or becoming sex workers? Thank you.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Women are not responsible for these men killing themselves. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And what is that? What is she saying really about men? Use my finger. I'll cut myself. What is she saying about men when she says stuff like this? Feminism is driving men to unalive themselves. I thought men were strong. I thought men were emotionally stable. Feminism is why y'all doing this? You want to put the burden on women because men don't have their internal shit together? So they're choosing to unalive themselves and it's women's fault? No, y'all not. We can't do that. We can't do that. That doesn't make sense. That means that there's something going on with men, amongst men. There's something that's happening amongst men that they are not facing, that they are not trying to handle and take care of. And pointing the finger out at everybody else, that's what's causing them to do that, to unalive themselves. Instead of looking within and trying to understand what can be causing this internal conflict, this mental stress that can drive a person to want to do that, instead of, instead of fixing that and handling that, you want to blame feminism. When feminism is about equality, is about an equal playing field between men and women. Women are not trying to be y'all. We just want to work, make our money, be educated, have our autonomy, and mind our fucking business. How does that negatively impact you? Why is being equal to another human being that's of a different gender, why does that make men feel so emasculated? I don't get that. But let's go ahead and get into the next video where we gonna get into the full debate. Okay, sorry about any ads that may show up. It's been ad crazy on YouTube and I ain't buying it. So just skip the ads. So thank y'all for being here once again. Let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into the good stuff. What y'all say? Is this a pre-record? No, it's not a pre-record. Does it seem like it? What does that mean? Let me see here. All right, let's go.
To kind of do an interrogatory of the other. That will go back and forth. And then after that, we'll go into open debate.
Of dollars. traditional press
Opening statement says, all right, part one, let's get to it.
an anecdote.
Because you
We have
guys,
10 minutes. Do we have that on the clock?
the way she came onto different panels, with myself included, y'all already know, the way she comes on with all this bravado and making it seem that she just knows it all. We are seeing here in real time how those talking points will collapse when you're met with actual and factual stats. Now, I didn't think the interaction I had with Pearl was a debate. That was her rage baiting and me being like, what the hell is going on? This was a prepared situation, but Miss Pearly Girl, she wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah, it's fading in right there. Okay, and take it away. 10 minutes.
Who's interrogating who?
Whoever wants to begin.
Aside from the specific anecdote that you shared, which of course is tragic,
And it
can you
happens all the
cite some
time.
actual studies that look at these statistics and back up what you say in regard to the outcomes of marriage and divorce in America?
41% of 109 rape cases reported to police in a Midwestern city were admitted to be false by complainants.
In one Midwestern city?
Wait, is that even a clear answer to the question? Was that even a clear answer to the question? Let me go back. Just a little bit.
And which America?
40.
I gotta hear it again,
And
y'all.
back up what you say in regard to the outcomes of marriage and divorce in America.
41% of 109 rape cases reported to police in a Midwestern city were admitted to be false by complainants.
In one Midwestern city?
Yeah, that doesn't answer the question, but we can move on.
And which Midwestern city was that?
You know, you can go from your ivory tower and
I'm
tell
not in an
people what
ivory
to
tower.
think
I'm
and
on
how to
this debate
feel.
stage interrogating your assertions, and you've only provided an anecdote.
Look at her face.
Right.
Because
It's
if you
not-
look at the data, which I did, of course, you'll find that women are twice as likely to fall into poverty after divorce.
Right, because they can't stop
Alimony is
spending.
paid.
This is an actual answer to that question. She asked, how are these things affecting marriages and divorces? She went to a Midwestern city of a bunch of false allegations of rape. This y'all queen, though.
Out in 10% of divorces. According to the Census Bureau, the average child support payment is $441 a month, and only 60%
Right, but how
of
much are
those
they
payments
making?
get paid out.
How much?
Women do not get child custody 90% of the time, as you have asserted before.
Look at her going through them papers. What's going on, bro? This should be off the dome. Right? You sifting through them papers real bad. Where your highlights at? Where your footnotes? You know it all, don't you?
In fact, 95% of custody cases are mutually agreed upon outside of the courtroom. Women get full custody 40% of the time. Men do get full custody 20% of the time. And 40% of the time, it's shared custody, which I think is the ideal situation, assuming that neither spouse is abusive.
And Pearl, excuse me, before you respond, if you could take your microphone out and hold it, it would be easier to hear you.
Okay.
That's a big woman.
Alimony and medical care and dental are not covered by that, so a lot of times it does go above 50%. Again, you can go through the facts, the data, and the statistics and manipulate them any way that you want.
It's not
But
manipulation.
there are
Those are the
1.6
stats.
million. There are 1.6 million men in this country. Men are 9 times more likely to commit suicide after a divorce.
Compared to women, what's the number for women?
It's lower.
Really? What is it? Comparative.
What is it, Pearl? Why don't you know these things? And again, bringing up this suicide of men, that's a men's problem. Why are y'all making that a woman's problem? Go get your shit together. Go get your mental health in order. Why are you blaming women for that? She doesn't make y'all sound like these alpha bros that y'all swear y'all are, that you swear that that she appeals to. She make y'all sound weak as fuck. I gotta be honest. This y'all leader. Like, she makes y'all sound like victims. She makes y'all sound like you are just incapable of being sexually disciplined. And y'all just run with it. Now she's saying, men can't handle feminism, so they kill themselves. Really? Nah, I ain't believing that one. Nah.
Analysis is real difficult for you, isn't it?
Okay.
Go ahead, Pearl.
What's your next question?
What'd she say?
For you, isn't it?
Okay. You can go through the facts, the data, and the statistics and manipulate them any way that you want.
It's not
But
manipulation.
there are
Those are the
1.6
stats.
million. There are 1.6 million men in this country. Men are 9 times more likely to commit suicide after a divorce.
Compared to women, what's the number for women?
It's lower.
Really? What is it? Comparative analysis is real difficult for you, isn't it?
Okay.
Read it, yo GOOFASS. Comparative analysis is really difficult. And we saw that with the LA attorney, right? That's the name, right? We saw that with him. He was like, okay, you know this about the blacks, but what about the whites? It was humming. Such a clown. It's irritating me because so many people in this space, I feel, who deem themselves as intellectual or smart or just a decent human being, aligns themselves with goofy ass liars like this. I'll never understand. I will never understand it. And it's too many of us that be doing that. He's slow. I'm so sad.
Go ahead, Pearl.
What's your next question?
You have asserted that men shouldn't get married, that instead they should shack up.
I didn't say that.
You did say that with
did
Trent
not say
Horn.
that.
Word for word, you said it makes more sense for them to shack up, live with a girlfriend instead of getting married. Do you think the advice that you give to men is the type of advice that will fulfill their lives? Because I'll tell you one thing, the best part of my life is my husband. He's my rock, he's my foundation. And
not the liberal, not the feminist, with a whole husband that she loves. Meanwhile, big boxy Betty over here, your last boyfriend, wasn't he homeless? You can't get no man, the men that you pander to even take you seriously. They're called Cassidy.
And no, my husband is number one. I love my career, but you know what my career did? When I met my husband, my career was already established. He, on the other hand, was couch surfing. He was in debt and didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. I married him anyway. You want to know why? Because I had the economic freedom to marry for love, not for some Chad to take care of me.
How tall is he?
Oh, he's 6'1", about your height.
Oh, whoa.
Not
about your height, bitch. See, I've only been seeing clips and bits and stits and all that. Treated your goofy ass again about your height. She frying you.
and I don't want kids.
Let's not do shouting questions from there, please. Allow these two to debate each other.
Okay, what's your question?
I mean,
It's always, what's your question? Okay, what's your question? What's your question? Debate, Pearl, debate.
you don't really have much to answer, so I don't know what else to ask you. Do you think you're helping men by discouraging them from entering fulfilling marriages?
What happens to men if they don't pay child support?
I mean,
What happens?
What do you mean? What do you mean? And why is that always the thing? You don't have to be on child support if you're not a fucking deadbeat. It's not. It's so many men out here that aren't in relationships anymore, aren't in marriages anymore, that are not on child support. Some men choose to be on child support. Some men are put on child support because they don't do nothing, and childcare is expensive. So why do y'all keep making this the excuse? Well, what happens when a man get on child support? If a man was doing what he was supposed to do, he wouldn't even be on child support. Hello? Did we ever stop to think about that?
What happens, Anna?
how many men do you think get
What
arrested?
happens to
I don't know
men
what the
when they
number
don't
is,
get-
but the
What
idea that
happens
there's
to
like a
men when they
huge number
don't-
of men getting arrested for not
And because you have to pay child, not paying child support, isn't that like against the law? You get your wages become garnered. I don't think you can get excuse me. I don't think you can get a passport. So that's what happens. Just like if you drive it on a suspended license, they're gonna take your ass to jail. You got outstanding child support, you're gonna go to jail. But if there are things that you can do to prevent you being put on child support. Hold on. Hold on. Did we ever think that? Did we ever think that we can maybe do something to stop all of this? Oh no, it's all women's fault, right? If everything a man does is because of a woman, how the fuck do you expect us to follow y'all lead? It sounds like we're doing the leading around here. No? No? Well, I'm on because of her. I did this because of damn. That's how she make y'all sound. I ain't gonna hold you.
doing what they're supposed to do
15%
and take care of their children, it's not a huge issue.
What happens to men when they don't
Really,
pay child support?
only
You
60%
gotta-
of child support
a
payments
minute.
get
You gotta
paid
allow
out.
you gotta allow her to interrogate you, not them. You gotta stop yelling questions
Look,
at her.
You can minimize men's problems all you want, but I don't think you understand how privileged of a position you're in.
In what way? How am I privileged?
You want to talk about privileged? You have no right to talk about anybody, Pearl. You were birthed into wealth. Your parents are multimillionaires. You ain't have to work for shit. You are the epitome of privilege. So much so that you can, so much so, you know how privileged you are that you can go into other black spaces and be a privileged white racist and hide behind, oh, I'm just, holding you, I'm just calling it out. You don't have any real substance. No thought is of your own. And yet you are highly successful in this space. That's privilege, honey, because there are plenty of quality Black and brown content creators that will not get half of this type of exposure because they don't even have your pasty ass skin color or your wealth, that deserve way more recognition than you ever have gotten.
Men are the ones that are on the hook for child support. Men are the ones that are on the hook for alimony. It's easy for you to tell men to just take the risk when you're not in that position.
So are you asserting that men shouldn't pay child support following a divorce? Do you believe that women should be financially responsible 100% after a divorce?
Feminists wanted to be equal. So I say be equal. If you guys want equality, 50-50 custody, no child support, no alimony, no special privileges.
alimony is paid out in 10%
It doesn't
of
matter if
divorces.
you're part of the
It does matter.
10%.
It does matter because you make it
doesn't matter
seem
if you're
like
part of the 10%.
it's a widespread issue when it's
The tender
only
years
10%.
doctrine is a sexist law against men. That's sexist.
How is it sexist if a
where have you
woman
guys-
decided to forego a career, decided to be a stay-at-home mother, and the marriage doesn't work out, she has no job, she has no income, so you think it's unfair to get support from her ex-husband so she can raise the kids, so she can pay?
60% of kids under 5 have daycare. Daycare is an option now. You wanted to be men.
Do you know how much daycare costs?
You wanted to be men. Here you
Do you know how much daycare costs?
What does that mean? We wanted to be men? No, we wanted to just live our lives the way we see it and be left alone. It blows me. So us working makes us men when we are human beings that all have to be self-sufficient. You wanted to be when we said we needed to be equal, is because we are equal as human beings and we should be treated equally. No, neither human being should have less access to things based on our gender. But you know what ideology supports that? Patriarchy. And somehow patriarchy wants us to believe that they're our greatest protectors. Well, I would argue if you really protected women, then you would value their autonomy. Then you will value them being self-sufficient. Because that is what makes women feel protected, having autonomy, having the right to choose. Not taking that right away, not preventing me from excelling in life because I'm a woman. That's some weird stuff right there. For real, for real. I really need y'all to unpack that.
Do you think it's free?
Let her answer. Let her answer.
A lot of things are expensive, Anna. I mean,
That's not an answer.
Women have 85% of consumer spending. Women spend money all the time. You spend money on hair dye, you spend money on Botox, you spend money.
You should think about it.
Okay, Anna. Anna girl. Anna girl. Oh my goodness. I know that's not who I think it is. First of all, thank y'all so much for pulling up. But I see one of my faves in the chat. Hold on now. DD reactions. Yes. Thank you for pulling up, girl. Love you lots. Yes. Looking lost, because she is. Excuse me, because she is very lost. But Anna, girl, you should try it.
I sure am.
You spend money all of the time.
Yep.
So you wanted to be men. Here it is. You're equal. Pay for daycare.
Equality means that
Women do pay for daycare. What are you talking about? But if you are a parent, you both should be able to pay for daycare and support each other paying for daycare. It shouldn't be all on, unless that's the arrangement, it shouldn't be one way or the other way. Like, how does that makes no sense to me.
when you have a child or children, you're both responsible. So the idea that the woman
said
should
that.
take 100% of the costs on herself without any help from her husband or ex-husband is ridiculous. How is that fair?
Well, how is it fair that he doesn't get 50-50 custody?
We got to talk.
Well, first of all,
It's
why
50,
are you
Hold on, I missed
asserting that they don't?
It's 50%.
On herself without any help from her husband or ex-husband is ridiculous. How is that fair?
Well, how is it fair that he doesn't get 50-50 custody?
Well,
But he can. But he can. Can't that man go down to the courthouse and advocate for 50-50 custody? That's a thing. I don't. He can.
first of all, why are you asserting that they don't?
It's 50% his DNA. Why can't he have 50% custody? Where
There
has
was a
feminists
study-
been? I've been
Let
on
me answer
20
your question, even though
different-
I should be interrogating you. I'll answer your question. Massive study out of Massachusetts that looked at 24,000 divorces. In those 25 divorces, they found that in only 8% of cases did men ask for custody. 8%.
Right, because the average American can't afford divorce fees, Anna.
But women
it
can
costs
afford to raise the children
to
by
divorce.
themselves without support from the ex-husband. How does that make sense?
What did you say? I didn't hear you. We were both talking.
You're complaining about the costs while simultaneously arguing that a woman should not get child support in order to raise the children that the former couple had together.
Are you guys equal or not? You want to
Yes,
be equal.
equality means that you're both responsible
50
for raising the children, and that includes the
so
costs
you should have
of raising the
equality,
children.
but not at the expense of men. 50-50 custody, 50-50, no child support, no alimony.
Girl, shut up. Girl, shut up. 50-50 custody. He can advocate for that if that's what he wants. You act like there aren't, processes or things that you can do to get these results. Why are you making it seem like women are keeping all these men away from their kids? If it's 50-50, do 50-50. But like Anna said, only 8% of men filed for custody, 50-50 custody. Because only 8% of men want to take care of their kids full time. Half time. So there's something to be said about that.
That's equality. You don't want
Alimony
equality.
makes sense if the woman was a stay-at-home mother and doesn't have a source of income. How else would she take care of the kids following a divorce?
By getting a job just like the men.
Look at her face. Oh my God. She lives for the applause. If she doesn't hear that, woo! She's falling. She's falling down. But they're applauding for nonsense.
So you're saying that a woman who doesn't have recent job history is just going to willy-nilly enter the job force or workforce, I should say, and easily get hired. Do you guys care about this? So do you care about the children or not? Because you're making this about like the poor husband, the poor ex-husband who doesn't want to pay the child support, doesn't want, to take on any of the responsibilities of having children in the first place. Why is it that you seem to have a problem with men carrying out their responsibilities? But when it comes to
men are dying to care about their responsibilities. Men are fighting to be a part of their kids' lives.
What's the empirical data on that?
I don't need data. How many people in here have had a family or
You don't need data. You're at a debate. You need to come with facts, stats, and data, not anecdotal experiences. Not, well, somebody who had. No, where's the data that supports your claims, ma'am? Where's the data that supports all of this? It doesn't make any sense at all that you would say you don't need the data when you're at a debate discussing data. It doesn't make sense.
Or a friend fight for their kid and not be able to get it. The reason that this happens, Anna, is because lawyers tell them not to fight because it's so expensive and they won't win.
What is that based on?
What is that based on? Literally.
You have to provide, look, Pearl, I am open to be convinced.
Let's keep it going. Wait, you know what? Let me take a little pause real quick and see what's going on in these comments. Because y'all, shout out to all 13 people in the building today. I see y'all. Thank you for pulling up. Applause to you. What y'all saying in the chats now? She ain't lying. These women use the babies to get paid. Where's your data? Where's the data that proves this? I'm not saying that I'm not saying that there are certain women that know if they have a baby that they will get some child support if they're not married to the dude or whatever the case may be. But think about the type of women that have that mindset, right? You're going to go out your way to get pregnant out of wedlock so you could get a couple $100 every month. Because let's be honest. Let's be honest. Y'all ain't giving it up in child support like that. You talk to these women for real, they're not even getting $200 a month. Okay? Y'all saying to get paid. These y'all not giving it up like that in math. I think y'all be thinking about these rich guys that you admire and what they're paying in child support and what they're paying in alimony, and you think one day you may have that kind of money. So you don't want that happening to you. But having babies and using babies to get a little bit of child support, it's not happening in mass, as if child support payments aren't going to the kids, as if child support payments are changing people's lives like that. So I get it. Like, I get it. It happens, but that's not what's going on in mass. A lot of these women are taking care of their kids alone, paying for everything by themselves, going to work, going to school, single mom of 2, by herself. And my thing is this: if this is really happening so badly, if this is happening in mass the way y'all say it is, advocate for yourself. Push back on it. You see women do it. We organize. Shit, we have to organize and fight for our fucking rights. You know what I mean? Just like the slaves had to fight for theirs. So if these things are happening to men and the system is rigged against men, then go fight the system. Women did it. Why can't you? Let's keep going. Let's see. That's because, what'd you say? That's because those ones don't have the money. But yes, it doesn't matter if it's a little or a lot. We not getting shit. If it's a little or a lot, we not getting shit. Either take the baby, right? You're going to have to pay either way. All right? If you didn't marry the lady and you don't have that support, right? You're going to pay either way, whether you take the baby full time. Big money. Yeah, go ahead and get that second job, taking the baby full time, or if you leave the baby with the mom, either way you paying. So what is it that you're trying to get? Because the main thing you should be concerned about is spending time with that kid. That should be your focus. It shouldn't be about, excuse me, y'all. It shouldn't be about, what do we get? What do we get? You should get time with your children. You should be going out of your way to see your kids, right? It is. I have 3 baby mamas. I have 3 baby mamas, and they all play that keep a ninja baby for money. Listen to what you just said, though. You have 3 baby mamas. 3. And you still want to blame somebody else? You still want to blame these women when you did the same thing 3 times. Now, I don't know your history, right? I don't know your history. I don't know if you was married or whatever the case may be. But 3 baby mamas tells me you went ahead and shot a load off in 3 different women that you didn't take seriously. And you out here asking, what do I get? And if all your baby mamas the same, what does that say about you, gang? What type of woman are you dropping loads off in? Why is that never the conversation? Because the common denominator is you. If you got 3 baby mamas and they all ain't shit, that picker may be a little off. But you had 2 wives? Oh, okay. Well, shout out to you. How come you ain't keep them? Oh, because they was all mean to you? Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. I see y'all in the chat. I really do. I'm trying to keep these things concise. The genius, don't come in here pissing me off. Single fathers raise better children. Why? Better children? Or can a single father possibly already, because we know you make more than women on average, right? Could they, if the courts grant a father full custody, that means that man is completely stable. He got the income, he got the lifestyle, whatever. Usually, a single mother is struggling a little bit, right? You may provide better stability as far as finances go, but that doesn't mean that you're raising a better child. And I need you to pull up the stats and facts to prove this. Because outside of the financial aspect of it, are you really pouring into your children to be upstanding kids? What do you say? That's a stat. Children grow up to be more successful. Okay, well, y'all gonna have to pull it up. Well, then, if that's the case, right? If that's really the case, then why aren't men in mass going to get their kids? If this is true, and men are better fathers, better parents, children are better off with fuck mama. Kids don't need their mama, right? Even though they literally come through their mom, right? Why y'all don't go get the kids? Why is the burden always on the woman then? As soon as you drop the load, as soon as you drop the load off, you should already automatically know that baby coming with me. That baby coming with me. Why y'all don't do that? Since y'all better at parenting. Why when y'all break up, the baby's still at her house? You should be leaving with the baby should be leaving with you, right? Y'all better. Why you leaving it with the worse off parent? Because we have to work and provide. When you're single and away from your child, you're mostly working for yourself and sending money every now and again. And your time isn't even split like that, because I know you ain't seeing all 3 of your kids every day, all day. So which one is it? Y'all better fathers, or y'all can't be fathers because you got to provide and you got to work? Moms have to work and provide too. Why can't it just be equal value? Why can't we see the value in both parents putting in and pouring into a child? We not home as much because we working. And how many stories have you heard of children who always said, yeah, they gave us everything, but I don't like my dad because he was never there. I don't have a good relationship with my father because he was never available for me. He missed all the milestones. See, y'all got to get out of that. That's not a badge of honor. Yes, definitely provide for your family, but not at the expense of that child. And what you're saying is, well, I can't see my kid because I got to go to work. Okay, well, then you're going to grow up, right? Your kid's going to grow up, and you're not going to have that relationship because all you did was throw money in their face. If that is men's version of good parenting, I don't know what to say. I'll drop the link in a little bit. Hold on. And I see y'all in the chat. What was this? I think statistically he's right. People from single fathers do better than single moms. Again, you know what? I'll find it for you. Hold on. But there was somebody else in here that I wanted to acknowledge. Hold on. Thank y'all so much. You like my hair? I like your hairstyle. Makes you look like the people from the Whoville. fits you. Thank you. I love the who's. Y'all know I'm a character anyway. Greetings, Jazz. I'm a new subscriber. Woo! Y'all, I'm almost at 600 subscribers. Okay? Listen. How about a round of applause? Going over here, baby. I love that so much, and I love you for being here. Thank you for following me. She said, new subscriber from the show you did with Lucky about Korean futon. Yeah, that was a great show. I appreciate you being here, love. Thank you so much for the support. Keep tuning in. All right. Hit the like button, do all the things. That's right, Tito. Let me know. Women think a good dad is just someone who throws money at them. No. Certain women. Certain women. Certain women. Come on now. Bird brain women. Because the women that I know that are single moms have been single moms since they were born. They don't even check for their fathers, excuse me, their kids' fathers, to throw money at them. They're like, where are you at? Why are you not pulling up to hang out with your kid? Why are you not picking up your kid on the weekend? Why are you not showing up to football practice? Time is what's important. But hey, I'm not a father or a mother yet, but I am a daughter. And I know what it's like to have both parents pouring into you.
But I
Whether they're together or not. Let's keep going.
need more than anecdotes. I need more than vibes and feelings. Because we're talking about something serious here. We're talking about raising children. We're talking about the shared responsibility of raising children. That, of course, includes the cost.
90% of disputed custody goes to women. That's not equal.
90%, that's a totally made up statistic. Where are you citing that from?
You heard somebody in the audience say, uh-oh. Yeah. Uh-oh. Where are you getting that from? 90% of women. Hold on, let's go back because now we're about to debunk some shit.
But I need more than anecdotes. I need more than vibes and feelings. Because we're talking about something serious here. We're talking about raising children. We're talking about the shared responsibility of raising children. That, of course, includes the cost.
90% of disputed custody goes to women. That's not equal.
90%, that's a totally made up statistic. Where do you?
We're about to see right now. We're about to see right now. We're about to see. Bow did. He would have got up there like, come on, man. Come on, Anna. What are you talking about, Anna? Come on, Pearl. Pearl, get her, Pearl. That's all CJ would have done. Come on. Anna, come on, man. You don't know what you're talking about. That's not true. Yeah, all right. What's it say? You're talking from a baby mama's perspective, correct? Because everyone I know with nuclear families aren't throwing money in kids' faces and spend time with them. I don't have children, sir. Fuck is you talking about? No, I'm just speaking from a lens of observation. The fuck? Because everyone I know with nuclear families aren't throwing money in kids' faces and spend time with them. Okay. That's great. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that choose to throw money in kids' faces over spending time with them.
Citing that from?
Oh, let's do this stat. So I'm about to ask Gemini. Hey, Gemini. Is it true that 90% of custody disputes go towards women?
While the 90% figure might not be accurate nationally, statistics do show that mothers tend to be the custodial parents more often than fathers. Recent data suggests around 80% of custodial parents are mothers. The reasons can be complex and vary by state and individual circumstances. Is there a specific context you're interested in?
Not right now. Thanks, Gemini. So the stat is wrong, and I think there are different things for that to be the reason why. But my thing is this, y'all. If you want your kid, go get him. If you want your kid, nobody should be able to stop you. No court, no woman. If she's acting crazy, act crazier. I'm not saying you should have to fight for your children, no. But at the same time, if you are in a fight, you need to be fighting to win. If you want your kid, nothing should be stopping you. To say I give up, you don't really want that kid. So 80%. That's what I'm seeing is 80%. But there are different reasons why that is. Could that number be because most men, like Anna said at the beginning, only 8% of men fight for custody of their children. 8%. So could that stat be because these men aren't fighting for custody? Y'all make it seem like y'all make it seem like as soon as y'all break up, the court is demanding you, like automatically saying the kid has to be with the mom. You can't see the kid anymore, or whatever the case. The courts are against the men, so kids can be raised feminine. That's what. Oh my God. Y'all have to stop this. Let me ask you a question. If this is true, who created this system? Who created the system? Didn't men create this system? So are you saying that the men who created this system of child support and custody, right? Are you saying that men intentionally was designed to make other men more feminine by way of custody? And to say to be raised feminine, as if every child is a boy. That is just some weird logic. I don't know where that's from, but there is absolutely no proof or data to back up what you just said, sir. The courts are against the men. The courts that were made by men implemented systems directly to affect men in this way. Your beef ain't with the ladies then. Go talk to the system. Go talk to the people in the court. Y'all mad at the women, but it's these men that's writing these laws that y'all are complaining about. Child support, alimony. Alleged homosexual political white male men created the system. Hey, it's a lot of, hey, they ain't out the closet fully yet. But hey, y'all don't have a problem assimilating with this system. You don't have a problem with it, do you? Because I don't see y'all at the courts fighting. You're okay with it until you see that a woman is getting paid in some capacity. Then it's humana. If this is a problem for men in mass the way y'all claim it is, then go advocate for yourselves. And again, that didn't prove that it was designed that way purposely to put men at a disadvantage with their children. Y'all don't want the custody. Y'all don't want to be responsible full time for these kids. Be so for real. Do you have? I don't need. You got 3 baby mamas. Who knows how many kids you got? You got all of them living with you right now? Let's keep going, man. We ain't supposed to be here all day.
All right, let's take a break there because our time actually ran up. Those opening interrogations are over. Let's take a moment here. You guys want to grab a sip of water? All right. The next step is going to be 30 minutes. We're going to open it up. Again, open debate. I'd remind you guys, I know everyone's passionate about this. I get that, but we can't have multiple people debating at the same time, right? We've got one debater here. We got one debater here. Let's keep it here. All right. Let's put 30 minutes on the clock and let's begin the open debate. Pearl, I'll let you pick up here. Go ahead.
What happens to men when they don't pay child support?
There are consequences for it, especially when there's a court order for them to carry out their responsibility and pay child support so that child can be raised.
And what happens?
Do you think there shouldn't be legal responsibilities or legal consequences if they fail to carry out a court order to, you know, take care of their kids?
I've interviewed men that have paid millions of dollars in
Don't care about your interviews. Anecdotal evidence doesn't matter. What I need is actual statistic, empirical evidence.
Where you at, Pearl? Where you at? Mamacita. Glass. Up there, sweaty, clammy, holding on to that mic for dear life. You don't know what you're talking about. And anybody that listens to this girl, baby, and follows this girl and reveres this girl, think this woman knows what she be saying. Come on now. Come on now, gang.
They should pay their child support. $441
What happens?
is the average child support payment. $441 a month.
Yeah, that's for someone that makes $24,000 a year.
You just told me a woman can just go to work and take care of the kids.
Hold on. I need to get that one.
Yeah, that's for someone that makes
$41
What happens?
is the average child support payment. $441.
That's what I was saying earlier. Y'all getting paid off this child support. Y'all getting paid off this child support. $41. $40 is not even filling up my tank. So I know that ain't buying a week's worth of Pampers.
$1 a month.
Yeah, that's for someone that makes $24,000 a year.
You just told me a woman can just go to work and take care of the kids totally by herself.
How does a guy live when he's paying $500 a month on $24,000 a year?
You think $500 a month is too much in child support? Do you know how much it costs to raise a child? Do you know how much childcare costs, for instance? I mean, that mother has to go to work, right? Where's the kid going to stay while that mother is working? How is she going to pay for the
what happens to men when they don't pay child support?
Sorry, say that.
Why is she asking the same question over and over again? She already told you, Pearl. And this is what y'all like to do. When you're backed into a corner and you got to reveal true facts and stats, you want to keep answering the same question over and over again or in a different way. Answer the question directly, Pearl. What do you mean? What happens? You go to jail. You get fined. Your wages will be garnished. You can't leave the country. What else are you looking for in that? That shit irritating.
Again?
What happens to men when they don't pay child support?
There are legal repercussions for not carrying out a court mandate to do something.
Do you think that fraud should be illegal?
Absolutely.
Okay. So why is it not illegal for women to fraud men on paternity If a man does not find out he's the father over the age of 2, he is on the hook for child support for 18 years.
I don't know what the law is when it comes to that, but it's wrong. If you're lying about paternity, that is wrong, and there should be legal consequences
why
for that.
haven't feminists fought?
It's that simple.
Then why aren't feminists fighting for it, Anna?
Why aren't men fighting for it? If it's happening to men, right? If it's happening to men, then why aren't men fighting for it? Go and get your rights like we had to do. If paternity fraud is such a huge thing, right? This is a big thing that's happening. And I know that it does happen. Go advocate for yourself, because I don't think it's right either. I don't think it's right either. There needs to be consequences for a woman that's lying on her kid and on a man for any reason. So go fight for your rights, babe. Why is it up to the feminists? It's not affecting the feminists. And on top of that, we don't want these things to be happening, and we're not the reason why that happens. How are you saying that feminists are the ones that's doing all the paternity fraud? Is that her logic? Because why is the responsibility on so-called feminists? When a feminist, now this extreme radical feminism that y'all don't like, I don't know what that is, but all this shit was about equality. All right. Feminism does not mean a woman hates a man. It doesn't mean that. But even at the same time, if y'all think that, why would you expect us to be the ones that advocate for you? Go advocate for yourselves. Are men in mass lining up to, make laws that can further protect women in any way, shape, or form? When we're impacted quite often by male violence just on a daily basis? No, women had to do that. We were being harmed, right? And we had to literally use our voices, use our bodies to advocate for our autonomy, because you men didn't think we deserved it. So if this is happening to y'all, I think y'all should do more to advocate for yourselves. I will support it. I will support it.
Because feminists fight for women, obviously.
Right. That's my point. At the expense of men. That's my point. You guys want to believe women at the expense of men. Why is it?
Anton not going to have you back after that live with Lucky. We'll see. So what's the big deal? What did we say that was wrong? What did we say that was wrong? We keep keying like everybody else. We calling it like we see it. What's the issue? That's what he does. He's an equal smoke giver. So why would he get mad at us? Because we observed that we caught a chuckle too. As much as I've been dragged on that platform, I'm not saying that it's, I don't think there's any reason for him to. Me and Lucky Show is not going to bother that man that much. It shouldn't. He got bigger fish to fry. Yeah, he'll be all right. Y'all here, where y'all come from? Are these Anton, are these the internets coming in my chat? Let me see. Don't burn your bridges with Anton, put business over your feelings. Man, look. Do y'all know how many times me and this nigga got into it? Do you know how many times Anton Daniels and I have gone back to back and forth? Do you know how many thumbnails I've been in looking crazy with him that he designed? Burn bridges. He don't give a fuck about bridges being burned. That's all he care about. He don't care. So I don't care. What are you talking about?
Amber Heard in jail because
But we're going to get to more of that later. That's why we got to get through this.
the Me Too movement. You guys pushed believing all rape victims, and now we have rape.
Amber Heard had to pay out a massive
Let her
settlement.
continue her statement.
Yeah, but why isn't she in jail?
You want her in jail?
Yes.
Well,
She ruined
the
his
penalties
life.
for defamation are what the court's decision is, right? You want people to go to prison for defamation?
He had to go to 2 different countries to clear his name. Why
okay.
isn't she in jail? He lost millions of dollars.
To be clear, you think the penalty for defamation is prison time?
I think the penalty for a false accusation is that the woman should get the same time that he would have gotten if he was found guilty.
Men don't go to prison for defamation.
And see, this is the problem with feminists. You want all these freedoms, but you won't actually be equal.
I do
Be
want
equal.
equality.
No, if you wanted to be equal, you would fight for 50-50 child support, no alimony.
No alimony. So
What? If we wanted things to be equal, we would fight for 50-50 child support. Did Anna not say earlier that a man should still be able to take care of his kid even after a divorce, even after a breakup? And what did Pearl say? No, that woman needs to just get a job. Welcome to being a man. Now you're saying advocate, but she did already. We're not trying to absolve men of their responsibilities, but you keep flip-flopping. And then alimony, first of all, child support and alimony does not only affect men. Women have to pay that shit out too. So to make it seem like, oh, men are such victims, and these are all things that you can avoid. You really can.
again, if a woman decided to forego working, decided to stay home to raise the children, and the marriage doesn't work out, she's got no income whatsoever, she doesn't deserve any
women
alimony.
aren't even doing that. Number one, that's not even women are not staying home with the kids. And number two, you have daycare.
A lot of women
You
do
have-
these days.
You
actually.
have daycare. as a choice.
The traditional
Again.
women who want to stay home, they want to be traditional wives. And you trash them all the time, which I don't understand.
Exactly, Anna. Cook her ass. Clock it. You saying women don't want to work or women don't want to stay at home, but your whole brand is about talking shit about these women that be staying at home with their kids, Pearl. Just goofy. Just dumb. And the thing is, all of her talking points, they're pulled from other manospheric, red pill, alpha male rhetoric to pander to other men. Men that would never take her seriously. Men that would never love her. Men that would never take her anywhere in public unless they're getting paid. I said it. So it's just like the audacity of this giant. This big old looking giant girl. It's just, be for real.
Damn.
If
It
feminists
seems like
cared
women
about
can't do anything
equality,
right when it comes to you, right?
If
They're
feminists-
stay-at-home moms, they're traditional, they're...
Ask her a question.
I
Let her
understand that you can personally attack me. That's
I'm not personally attacking you.
okay.
These are things that you have said on the record multiple times.
But if you cared about equality, you would care about false accusations. You would
I do care about false
No,
accusations,
you
yep.
don't.
You don't know me? What, you don't know what I care about?
Look, all right. Let's talk about rights that men do not have. Men do not have the right to be enlisted in selective service. You know, we have 125K men who were drafted and buried overseas. Think about that over a second. You talk about the oppressions of the past, but how many men died in World War I and World War II and had no choice? And yet Anna complains about oppression. Men do not have the right to face their accuser in court.
Again, blaming women for something we didn't have shit to do with. Your government, ran by men, took y'all ass to war. and then told y'all to go fight for this country. We didn't have no say in that. And that's not oppression. That's a civic duty. Excuse me. That's a civic duty that this government has said we have to adhere to when it comes to war and shit like that. What does that have to do with women?
When they have a false allegation and for personal protection orders that strips constitutional rights away from the man. Women go before a judge and say they don't feel safe, and more than likely a PP order will be issued. The man was not in court, had no say, has no defense, and does not get to face his accuser. That is done en masse, and many servicemen and first responders.
Y'all, don't be counting my coughs. I told you I was getting over a cold. Leave me alone. I'm trying. I done been teed up, Theraflued up, garliced up. All right, it's coming out, okay? I'm a human being, okay? I'm gonna cough a little bit. Don't be counting my coughs. There's somebody in the chat. I'm gonna kick you out. I'm kicking you out. I wanted to show up, okay? Yesterday was a lot worse. All right, I was coughing on Lucky Show, but I kept muting myself when I was doing it. So don't talk about me. And I don't smoke blunts. What are you talking about? I don't smoke blunts. Okay, so get it right. I'm trying to get over this cold. I ain't going live again, top over, because y'all gonna talk about me.
Lose their careers over this because it strips a man's Second Amendment rights away based on no evidence. Men do not have the right to raise their children. Divorce is no fault, but when it comes to child custody, it's always the man's fault. He loses his children to the system. 96 hours a month the father does not make. Men have longer prison sentences. Women get a third of the time for the same crime. Where are the feminists fighting for equality on that issue? There has been rampant discrimination against better qualified men in hiring across multiple industries. Men pay more child support, and child support orders are not enforced at the same rates between men and women. Women are more likely
women pay
not
child
to
support.
pay
Fascinating.
and are prosecuted for non-payment at lower rates. Men cannot opt out of parenthood. Men have very few domestic.
Men opt out of parenthood all the time. What are you saying to me? What are you saying to me? What? Shit, women do too. Not at the same rate. But we all heard the tale as old as time. Daddy went to the store and never came back. He was there until he wasn't. Y'all was doing it so much that they had to implement a system called child support. Because y'all was leaving y'all own kids hanging. Hey, come on now. This ain't our fault.
Domestic violence shelters and are not taken seriously when they're domestic violence victims.
I agree on that.
White men in particular are discriminated against when it comes to hiring and educational attainment.
True.
The Duluth model is a model that law enforcement, courts, and counselors use automatically that assumes men are the aggressor. The tender years doctrine is a guideline in divorce used to justify removing the father from the child's life. The only institutional sexism that exists is institutional sexism that discriminates against men in favor of women. Furthermore, U.S. courts do not require receipts to show how that money is spent by the custodial parent, unless there's overwhelming evidence of starvation, malnutrition, or severe child abuse. There are numerous reports of custodial
You want the
parents
government to
spending the money
check
on
receipts and see, like,
let's let her respond to some of that.
hold on, let's understand something. You want government to be so big that you literally have the government looking at receipts to see what a mother is spending the money on? That's insane.
I want no child support, no alimony, 50-50.
Yeah, because you're crazy and you don't live in reality.
I want equality. I'm more of a feminist than you, Anna.
No, because your equality, no. What you think equality is, let men off the hook. That's your version of equality, Pearl. Let men off the hook. Men are crying about being on child support, so take them off. Men are crying about having to pay alimony and splitting their assets after a divorce, so take them off. You want to absolve men of the responsibilities that they complain about when they are the ones that more than likely put themselves in that position. Remember, kids, I'm not going to say only goofies, but most of the time it's a goofy on child support because he's not showing up the way that he's supposed to. If you're showing up the way you're supposed to, what's the issue? What's the issue?
Because I say if you want to vote, be in selective service. Be on the front lines just like the men are.
Women do go to war. Women are on the front lines right now. What are you talking about? It's a voluntary, what do they call it? Draft, if you will. If there was to be a draft, it'll be voluntary first, unless we were in a dire situation. But as far as joining the service, women are in the military a lot. And you know what happens to a lot of women in the military? Did you want to bring that up? On the front lines? Do we all know what happens to women in mass? When they are on military bases? Do I really have to say it? Do I really have to say it? Women can't even go and try to fight for their country, go to the military to gain new skills and everything else without being harmed by their male counterparts. Do you know how many stories of women that have been harmed, unalived, raped by people in the military and nothing ever happens? It gets covered up. If men are so equal and care about women, why does that happen so much? I would love to know, where are the protectors? Not even in the military? I don't know. You said, what you say, Frank? Yep, she is, and not true. She said 50-50. 50-50 custody. Okay. Okay. She can do 50-50 if that works. And if you don't have to pay child support if you are doing your part. If you are if you lay down with a woman of substance, she's not going to take you to court and put you on child support for no reason if you are showing up the way you're supposed to. So stop making excuses. Either way, you got to pay. It's a kid involved. What? Women in the military do not see combat? I don't know if that's 100% true. I don't know. Is that true? I don't know. Women in the military willingly thought it up? Really? I'm talking about the women that were violated. I'm talking about the amount of women. I'm not talking about the women that, give consent when they have sex on these military bases. I'm talking about the amount of women that are hurt, unalived, raped, and harmed without their consent, obviously. And you want to talk about thotting it up. Why aren't you talking about all of these men that are willingly ready to harm women in these spaces? Why don't you talk about that? Exactly, Eugene. Exactly. All these men out here, y'all the protectors, y'all the leaders, y'all the providers. But as soon as a woman come around, y'all more likely to do this shit. So it seems, and then cover it up, especially on military bases. Protectors of who? Yourself? Don't give me this shit. Don't give me this shit.
Who do you think gives birth to and raises those soldiers?
What does that have to do with anything?
Because you assert that women shouldn't be allowed to vote because they're not all in mandatory military service.
I say be equal. You want to vote, do what the men do. Men are fined
Should women be included in combat?
Men
Should women be
fined.
included in combat?
Yes.
Okay.
Do what the men
Fair.
do.
Fair.
Do what the men do.
Yeah, fair.
We do. What do you mean? There isn't. Oh my God. Don't be talking about me. There isn't one thing that we as both men and women can't do. There is one thing that men can't do that women can do, though. But please name the thing that women can't do. Please. Please. Y'all have been socialized to believe that only men can do all of the things, yet women can do them as well. Probably better in some cases. What is it? Please name the job that women can't do. I'm waiting. But I know one a man could never do. But we ain't even gonna go there.
Agreed. Next. Next? Nothing? Okay.
Stalling, frozen.
I want to know what your ideal woman is. Because if you are a
right, let me
traditional
fast forward.
conservative woman who's married, staying at home, raising kids, you trash them.
There's no such thing as a traditional woman. They cannot be traditional in 2025 because women will always have the leverage.
What does that mean? What does it mean that women
Because
will always have the leverage?
Women
Women can't shut the fuck up. Do you want to leave? Because I ain't gonna never shut the fuck up. Why you over here? Women can't shut the fuck up. What? I hear this a lot. What is it that women are saying so much that got you niggas so in a tizzy? Got your boxer briefs in a bunch? Y'all be so, women need to shut up. What are women saying to y'all? Because you can get the fuck up out of here, sir. Women can't shut the fuck up about what? You on a whole woman's channel right now. I'll never shut the fuck up just for dickheads like you. I'm gonna always run my mouth. Women can't win wars. Are we sure about this? See, y'all gonna derail the show. Y'all gonna derail the show. You can't shoot like men. You can't build like men. You can't protect like men. But we can shoot. But we can build. We can protect. We're the first protectors. We give birth. But we do play sports. Why is it that we have to do it like y'all for us to get it done? We can do the exact same things. Some better. Some the same. Some differently. But there is nothing that we can't do. Why do we have to do it like you for you to see value in it? We could do the same thing. I go to the range all the time. Shoot better than a lot of niggas. And there's a lot of niggas that shoot better than me. I don't play sports. But I know what? Lisa Leslie will dunk on your ass. I know you ain't gonna never win no tennis match against Venus or Serena Williams. Huh? Protect like men. That's a good thing. That's a great thing. I would argue we do better protecting than men. Yeah, we do. Seeing as what the stats are when it comes to violence against women from men. Remember, boys and girls, we can't even go outside at night. My man don't even want me pumping my gas at night. Because of other men. Protectors where? When y'all look for every opportunity to violate. Who you protect? No, you protect your own self-interest. and your protection is conditional. If she ain't fucking you, it's fuck her. Don't get me started.
Child support to fall back on, women have alimony. So automatically
10% of divorces end with alimony settlements.
and
10%.
And they go.
You just ignore the stats.
They
You
go
just move
from
on.
men to women. They go from men to women. Billions of dollars every year.
I thought you said earlier that women are paying alimony.
Billions of dollars of wealth every year is transferred from men to women.
All right, bro. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to send you out. I'm gonna have to send you out because you kind of creeping me out now. First you saying I'm in Chicago, by the way. Now you saying women can't protect themselves most of the time. Hey, bro. Yeah, let me how do I do that, the genius? How do I do that? I don't know how to give wrenches or do mods. I don't know, but I don't like stupid shit like this. In the fact that you in here saying stuff like this, but then want to call yourself a protector. Women do better protecting themselves than a man could ever do. Trust me when I tell you. But you might be a creep, so you might have to fucking go. You soft? Yeah, all right. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and time your goofy ass out. Let me time your goofy ass out. Cause you on some weird shit with me, and I don't play these crackhead games. Not over at Auntie House. Nah. I'm gonna go ahead and time your ass out and let you think about. But this is what I'm saying, right? This is what I'm saying. Men are such great leaders. So emotionally stable and secure, and you got a nigga in the chat right now displaying just how much of a coward he is. Yeah, you gone, gang.
Based on what? Where are you getting that information from? Are you just making it up?
Look, we have it. We're excited. We can get it to you at the end. You didn't want to submit. Where are your sources?
Wait, hold on. What was that?
Based on what? Where are you getting that?
In 2025, because women will always have the leverage. Vote. Do what the men do. Men are fined.
Should women be included in combat? Should women be included in combat?
Yes.
Okay.
Do what the men do.
Fair.
Do what the men do.
Yeah, fair. Agreed. Next.
That's one guy in the chat. One is enough for me. One is enough for me. That gave me creepy vibes. I don't know what that person is capable of, especially if he claim he in proximity. I don't do weird stuff like that. So one is enough for me. Thank you.
Next? Nothing? Okay. I want to know what your ideal woman is, because if you are a traditional conservative woman who's married, staying at home, raising kids, you trash them.
There's no such thing as a traditional woman. They cannot be traditional in 2025 because women will always have the leverage.
What does that mean? Women aren't running anything. We're not running. What leverage? We don't even have leverage over our own rights right now. It's not funny. But women's rights are literally varying from state to state right now. Our reproductive rights, our rights for birth control, for certain surgeries that we have to have in our uterus that could risk our lives. They're banning certain things. We can't even get access to IVF in certain states. How many states are men's reproductive rights or rights just in general being varied from state to state like that? What leverage are you talking about, sir? Big shoulder, iron back ass. Like, women will always have the leverage. How? Every day, y'all are pushing us closer and closer into a Handmaid's Tale. The 19th Amendment right now is like on the table to be overturned. Y'all already got us with Roe versus Wade. Now, our right to vote is on the table. Meanwhile, we ain't running none of this shit. The leverage is where? Is the leverage in the room with us?
What does that mean? What does it mean that women
Because
will always have the leverage?
women have child support to fall back on. Women have alimony. So automatically,
10% of divorces end with alimony settlements.
and
10%.
and they go.
You just ignore the stats.
They
You
go
just move
from
on.
men to women. They go from men to women. Billions of dollars every year.
I thought you said earlier that women are paying alimony.
Billions of dollars of wealth every year is transferred from men to women.
Mm-hmm.
Based
on what? Where are you getting that information from? You're just making it up?
Look, we have it. We're excited. We can get it to you at the end. You didn't want to submit. Where are your sources? You didn't want to submit them ahead of time. You didn't.
The Census Bureau, Bureau of Labor Statistics. I cited everything I mentioned. Pull it up. Pearl, the main thing I want people to understand, okay? Pearl's gonna trash women no matter what. That's fine.
And that's
I'm
a
not
fact.
trashing
But
them.
my biggest gripe with you is you're discouraging people from entering marriages.
I don't tell men what to do. Sell me on.
You
okay,
advise
Anna,
men to avoid marriage.
Sell me on marriage. What do men get out of marriage?
That's sad. It's sad that people think that. It really.
What do men get out of marriage, really? Everything. Everything. You get a maid, you get a cook, you get a woman to fuck on whenever you desire. You get someone to birth your children. Someone's making your doctor's appointment. Someone's making sure that you're healthy. Statistics actually show and prove that married men live longer than single men. That married men make more money on average than the single man. That they excel in their careers at a higher rate. Why? Because other men in their careers, other men that are successful, look at married men as responsible, as stable. When they see you have a wife, you can enter different rooms with a wife. And there are stats that back this claim up. I'm not pulling that out my ass like she tried to do, but she ain't got no ass. So, but what I'm saying is men reap all the benefits. The only time y'all say y'all don't get nothing is if there is a divorce and then you might have to pay alimony. Or y'all want to say, oh, but we exchange our happiness for our wives, for our families. Y'all need to stop doing that. Because patriarchy told you that being a man is suffering for other people. So because of your suffering, you want to make other motherfuckers suffer. Stop doing that. Just stop. Stop putting the blame on everybody else and look around, baby. Just take a quick look around.
You get a partner, you get a teammate, you get to build a life together.
And the stats show the complete opposite for a married woman. Single women live longer than married women. Married women are more likely to fall into depression, postpartum. They give their entire lives up for their husbands, for their families. I mean, y'all mad at IYKYK, right? She did it right. Only been with Steph Curry. Gave up her entire life for him. And as soon as she said, damn, I kind of lost my identity. Shit. I don't know who I am. Oh my God. Why would you say that? You're not a human being. You shouldn't have those feelings. You're with a rich man. You're with Steph Curry. Men benefit everything from marriage. Everything. Stop lying to yourselves, making it seem like you don't benefit anything when you get it all. Especially the new marriages y'all want to see now. Because y'all would love to just knock a lady over the head and drag her back to your house and lock her in the kitchen to make her cook, lock her in the bedroom to make her fuck. Leave it to y'all.
Together, and it's beautiful. I feel like misery loves company in this situation. And how would you know what you get out of marriage if you haven't experienced marriage in the first place? I'm not saying that as a personal attack. I really hope that Pearl meets the love of her life.
And she never will. But let's just keep going. Wait,
and gets married. It's not about that. But you trash it without really understanding what the benefits are.
Why do we have phrases like it's cheaper to keep her?
Pearl,
answer the question.
Divorce is expensive. And by the way, on purpose to discourage people from getting divorced in the first place.
Yeah, because it's too expensive. So a lot of men will stay in marriages that they are unhappy in because they don't want to go through the rigmarole of filing the divorce papers, hiring a divorce lawyer. That's why it's cheaper to keep her. And that is also not women's fault. What the hell, Pearl?
Why do we have phrases like happy wife, happy life?
Because it's true. Same with happy husband, happy life. I don't want to come home to an angry husband.
But that's not a phrase.
Do you have any other like catchphrase or slogan you want to throw at me?
What do men?
Show me how. What do I need to do? Does that mean make moderators? Because I really don't know how to make the moderators. We'll talk. But okay, Lucky, I got you.
Men get out of marriage?
They get a partner
that gains 25 pounds in the first 5 years.
Men get pretty fat too. I don't know if you've done a comparative analysis on that. They actually end up gaining more weight than their wives do.
And that's a fact.
And who cares?
Right.
Men.
I mean, have
men, and that's what I'm saying. Listen to what both, I would argue, both women and men, when they get into happy, healthy relationships, they may get a little thick because they're enjoying each other. They call it happy weight. But you saying that, oh, men care, but why don't men care enough to take care of themselves? Why do they get to develop beer bellies? Why do they get to let themselves go? Because women care about the way men look too.
a conversation with your partner. Encourage her.
How can
be an adult?
How can men and women be equal?
Especially if she's giving you
children. How can men and
children.
women be equal when one is expected to die for the other?
A woman can die giving birth. Girl, and the thing is, she's not even responding to anything that Anna is saying. She's just pulling these random ass questions out that she's heard other places to throw her off. But Anna on her ass though.
I don't expect anyone to die for anyone else. I don't know what that even comes from.
Yeah, but men are every day. The men in the police force, the men in the military.
What about the women in the police force?
They're 10% and they cause so many
what?
problems.
Who cares what percentage women make up of the police force?
Yeah,
They're in
but
the police force. My sister-in-law's a cop, actually.
They can't do the same jobs. There's videos on the internet
should see my
everywhere of
sister-in-law.
women getting their guns taken because they're not strong enough.
Are you just making things up?
Okay, and there are videos of men getting their guns taken, girl. And that's what she said it earlier. Any reason to trash a woman. This isn't a real conversation. This is a trash woman debate. That's it. There's no logic here. And I'm gonna have to fast forward because this should get on my nerves.
Pearl, what are you doing? Like, seriously. Next question.
Silence.
Do you realize how good you have it in this country?
Absolutely. Best country in the world.
And you get to live the life you live at the expense of men.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
Show me how.
Do you know how many men die every year? Just to
Look, exactly. She had to laugh at her damn self because she know what she was about to say was some bullshit. I'm never going live again with a cold because this is trash. But thank y'all for being here. Seriously, we're gonna get through this little cold together. But she had to laugh at herself. She had to laugh at herself right there because what she was saying was not making any sense. Do you know? It didn't make sense at all. She said, do you know how many men die? How are women thriving in this country at the expense of men? Give me an example. Do you know how many men die? Are they dying because of women? Let's see what she had to say. Uh-oh.
There are men that die every year to get you crap.
How many women die every year during child?
Wait, what? To get you crap? Look at her face. She knows she's full of shit. Always been full of shit.
There are men that die every year to get you crap.
How many women die every year during childbirth?
Not many.
What?
This country has
Not many, Pearl. Even I know the mortality rate for women giving during childbirth is astronomically high. Don't even get me started on Black women. Any of y'all that follow this woman and listens to this woman, I really am going to I'm going to have to pray for you. Because to take this imbecile seriously says a lot about you. Any of y'all. I don't care. I don't care. She has no real ideology of her own. It's all just pulled from different talking points of other people constantly.
the highest maternal mortality rate of any developed country. So a lot of women do die as a result of pregnancy and childbirth, yes.
Glitched again. Glitched again.
This is painful, man.
It is.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Not right now.
All right. Suicide after.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna have to wrap this up.
It's so many men that want nothing more than to just be a dad and see their kid. They don't even care about the money. They just want.
The girl totally glitches out every time. Every single time there was irrefutable stats presented to her. This how you know. This is how you know that she don't be knowing what she's talking about. At all. Because if you can't rebuttal anything and just go completely silent, that's what it is. The talking points don't land when you have to substantiate the argument. When you literally have to provide evidence for the facts that you're putting out, You can't just say things and then that be it. But I feel like that's the logic with like her and a lot of people like her that say these things. They don't need reality and facts and stats and what's actually happening. They're living in their own delusion. Cognitive dissonance.
To see their children. And if you ask Anna, it doesn't exist, but if you ask any man, like everybody knows somebody that it's happened to. And commentators can, they can try to minimize it. They can talk from their ivory towers and pretend it's not happening, but there's a genocide of millions of men that's going on in this country.
By who though? Not by women. Not by women. Who's killing the men? Is it other men? Who's committing the genocide? Is it other men? I'm just trying to understand, why is she making this issue a woman's problem when we're not the cause of it? If women working and some women doing OnlyFans is y'all biggest issue with feminism, y'all ain't got no problem at all. Y'all ain't got no real issue. It's giving jealousy. If that's your only issue, it's too many OnlyFans girls. So what? It's too many prostitutes. So what? Don't deal with them. If those are your only issues, ain't no real issue. Y'all are the issue when it comes to this shit.
A genocide?
1.6 million men commit suicide. Have committed suicide since 1970.
Similar rates of women also attempt suicide, but fail because they usually don't resort to more violent means of ending their own lives.
Right,
so they'll take pills.
Why is it that every time we bring up men, you have to bring up women?
Because we're doing a comparative analysis here. You can't just throw out statistics without comparing it to what the rates are among women.
What I'm pointing out is, I just pointed out that by 2050, more men will have committed suicide than all of the world wars combined. And your first response was, well, women commit suicide too.
Because it is a problem that is inflicting both sexes in this country. It is a tragedy and should be taken seriously rather than this weird sex war.
But it's not going to be taken seriously when you pretend it's not going on.
It is going on. Are you kidding me? I mean, how many of our soldiers, our veterans, come back to the United States after multiple deployments, do not get treatment or help with PTSD and other mental issues as a result of being deployed multiple times? Like, that's a real problem. How come you don't talk about that?
Yeah, but
you blame it on marriage and divorce instead.
Right, because those soldiers come home to an empty house.
You think that divorce...
Girl, wait a minute. So you're saying the issues that men face when they come back from war, the PTSD, all of the things that Anna said are because they come back home to an empty house? Do you know how many times they come back to a house with their families there and are a totally different person and aren't able to like integrate back into his family because of the PTSD and the lack of care that our veterans have? And guess where the lack of care comes from, Pearl? The reason veterans aren't taken care of is because men in government design it that way. Men did that. And I absolutely agree. There should be no reason why a veteran, a man or woman, but a man can go out, fight for his country, lose eyes, legs, limbs, and his mind and sanity, and come back and can't afford health care, can't afford housing, can't afford therapy. And your capitalist society that is ran by men is inflicting that issue onto them. Again, why is this a woman's issue? Why is this a woman's issue when there are men that are doing this? They're doing all of the destroying that you're speaking of. What the hell?
Divorce
They're
is the reason for most of these suicides.
Men are 9 times more likely to commit suicide after
How many
a
more
divorce.
times likely are women to commit suicide after a divorce?
What about the women?
You don't know the number,
What
right?
about-
Because you
what
didn't even
about-
care to
what-
look into it.
What about the women, though? That's always what you go to. And that's kind of what I'm trying to point out is feminists don't care about male issues. They don't. They do not care about equality. Because whenever you ask them for real equality,
Pearl, my point is that suicide is not just a male issue. It is a huge problem in this country. Women
Look at her face.
who try to end their lives are less.
I mean, greasy hair. Where's your stylist? You got all this money. Can nobody do your hair right? Can nobody do your makeup? Nobody can choose better clothing for you to flatter your big ass, manly like shape. They couldn't get you no roller set, no little facial. You look a mess and you sound a mess.
Successful because, again, they're less likely to use a gun, for instance, or hang themselves. They'll take pills, it'll fail. It's just a tragic thing all around. But if you actually care about suicide rates, then you would want to know what's causing the suicide rates or the attempts at suicide.
Divorce.
What can we do as a society to help people to
Now divorce is causing suicide rates. Divorce is causing suicide rates. Again, she makes y'all look weak. She makes y'all look weak as fuck. I'm sorry. Y'all unaliving yourselves because you're getting a divorce. I understand divorces can be hard. Divorces can be tough. I get that. It's hard on both ends. But to say that, oh my God, it's because women are divorcing men, that's why they're unaliving themselves. No, that just sounds like you have mental issues and you're blaming your issues on everything else. Man, I said that already, but let's just keep going. And I'm going to jump to her response because that was a doozy too.
prevent that from happening. And you wouldn't make it specifically and solely an issue that inflicts one sex over the other.
No, let's talk about it. So if a woman was to unalive herself, you wouldn't call her weak? No, what I'm saying is I understand that suicide is an issue for both sides, but what Pearl is trying to frame it is every man that unalives himself is the fault of some woman. Is the fault of a bad breakup. And I'm saying that's simply not true. And my thing is, you would think that rate would be higher for women because aren't we the most emotionally unstable ones? Aren't we the ones that can't control ourselves and we're so flighty and we need protection of ourselves, but all it takes is a breakup or a woman saying she don't want to be with you anymore, and that's the go-to. I trust me when I tell you I understand the darkness of suicide. I just had someone I know very well commit suicide last year, in December. Hung himself from a fucking tree. Okay? So I know the severity of it. And I know that some people cannot get out of that shit. But stop trying to blame those issues solely on women, which is what she's trying to do. If it's not the divorce, then it's feminism. If it's not feminism, then it's child support. If it's not child support, then it's alimony. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta get past that. What you say? Y'all wonder why men aren't emotionally vulnerable because of women like you. What? It is not because of me. It is not because of me that men are not emotionally vulnerable. It's because of the patriarchy, sir. Y'all can't be emotionally vulnerable because patriarchy and other men told y'all that is what's weak. Told you to suppress your emotions, told you to suppress your natural human feelings. Because you got a sack of balls and a penis, all of a sudden you can't feel feelings because that's going to make you look weak. Men told you that. Patriarchy set you up to believe you can't love on yourself. So much so that it's driving you to suicide because you don't know how to deal with your shit. Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. I get the ones that never talk to open up. Ask about me. I'm here for my brothers, but I'm not here for no man that's constantly pointing the finger at everybody else as to why he did what he did or is doing or the way that he is. Suicide is a very deep depressive state to be in, to actually get to. But to frame it as if it's always a woman's fault why a man does that, we can't concede to that. Y'all can't be vulnerable because other men told you not to be. And a lot of male-centered women also believe that as well. I believe in humanity. I believe that both men and women are allowed to be vulnerable when it's necessary. Neither one of us should be, so out of control with our emotions. Neither one of us should do that. But as humans, we're going to share the same type of feelings. So don't get mad at me because y'all don't know how to be vulnerable in front of women, in front of other men, just in general in the world. Blame the patriarchy for that.
Again, I mean, you're just proving my point because we talk about male issues, you keep bringing it back to the women.
I just want you to compare the stats you're spewing right now with something to compare it to.
Okay. Do you think that women should be on the front lines of the military like the men?
If they can pass the physical test necessary to do so, yeah.
Do you think women should be in selective service like the men?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and they should be on the front.
Okay, let me see.
A little harder to debate someone who's
we're gonna go to this
from a girl.
Just okay.
We're gonna go to this and then we're gonna skip this. And I'm gonna say one more thing.
Do you think that child custody should be 50-50?
As long as the court determines that both parents are capable of being caretakers, yes. In fact, that's the ideal situation.
Absolutely.
Okay, so yes.
Yes.
All right, do you believe in alimony?
I believe in alimony in specific cases where the woman decided to forego having a career and working, decided to stay home and raise the kids. In those cases, I believe she deserves alimony, yes.
But that's a privilege.
You're ridiculous. Next, move on.
You said it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous,
that it's a privilege to stay
especially coming from a girl who grew up in an affluent situation with incredibly wealthy parents. You don't know anything about struggling economically or financially. So to tell a single mother who decided to stay home and raise her children instead of work that she doesn't deserve a penny to raise her kids after a divorce is the most privileged piece of shit thing to say.
This is the type of
Fried her ass. 1000%.
nagging that drives men to suicide.
Good. But I'm married and you're not, so next.
Jesus Christ.
Did you hear what she just said? She said it again. She's laughing at this is what she said. This is what she said. This is the type of nagging that drives men to suicide. Is that true? Can nagging drive men to suicide? And if so, how? When you don't have to be with a nagging woman. You don't have to be with a woman that disrespects you. But what's going on with the mental health of men? Let's get into it. Why y'all don't take y'all mental health serious enough where things, because life is good. And here's another thing. Men always say, oh, when we go out into the world is on our back. The world is on our shoulders. But somehow you getting all this, this hardship everywhere else, and you're able to keep it together. But when it comes to a woman nagging you or a divorce, this is what can drive you to suicide. You can face the world and be macho and and get all of the, but a woman nagging you is all it takes for you to unalive yourself. You would never get me to get on board with that. And my thing is, if that is the case, then more men need to start taking their mental health seriously and start creating programs or whatever the case may be to get your mental health in order, so y'all can start unlearning this idea that suppressing your feelings and emotions is healthy and normal, because it's not. Because it's not. That may be the real cause of the unaliving, not the woman, not the divorce, but the way that you're not able to deal with those feelings and emotions when these things happen. You're not able to control what's going on. So you do the extreme. You either unalive yourself or you unalive somebody else. At the end of the day, we can't keep pointing our finger out. We got to start looking within and say, you know what? Maybe I need to go talk to somebody. Because nothing outside of myself should drive me to this point. I get it that there are people that fall into very dark, deep bouts of depression. But come on, man. Come on now. Those men can't live with the shame of choosing wrong. The genius, how is that a woman's fault? How is that a woman's fault? Again, how is that a woman's fault? These men can't live with the shame. The shame from who? Other men? Who are you getting the shame from? Because to a woman, you could choose wrong and pick another one right on up. She not gonna care. More than likely. Where's all this shame and all this, all this negativity coming from in y'all world? From other men? I'm just saying, that's not our fault that you all are so afraid of being shamed by other men that you go to the extremes. That is why y'all need to go seek therapy. Because a lot of your masculinity is performative. And so you do things like that. Because everybody else is like, oh, look at him. Are you following me? Okay. What'd you say? What'd you say? A woman nagging to suicide doesn't sound like majority Black issue. All the ones I know, including myself, just leave. I can't speak on divorce because I've never been married. These are your thoughts before you got into a relationship and you haven't gotten wiser? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm cooked. I sure am. I cooked yesterday. I cooked the other day. I stay cooking. I stay cooking. What I'm saying is, we're gonna have to do another live about that. But what I'm saying is, men have been socialized to believe that their feelings of being emotional, being sad, being unhappy, showing vulnerability, being honest with themselves, that has been shamed by other men for so long that when you're in moments where those things matter, in relationships, being vulnerable, being transparent, being honest, sometimes being emotional, y'all have suppressed that for so long, and then you get in those moments and you shut down. You don't know how to react, and then you go to the extremes. So I don't know what to tell y'all. Egalitarian mindset, those are the best mindsets. An egalitarian society is a society we should all get behind. What is it about you being equal to a woman that makes men just be like, no? It gives white supremacy. It gives white supremacy because these white supremacists and these racists really felt like if black folks were able to be great, somehow something would be taken away from them. What is it that you're going to be taken? What's going to be taken away from you if you are in an egalitarian society with women? How does egalitarianism harm men? Let me know. Just let me know. How is this really harming y'all?
I get it. I get it.
A little harder to debate someone who's not an OnlyFans girl, right? Never. I don't need to. Not that I'm judging.
It's why isn't paternity fraud illegal?
All right. At this point, they just answering the same questions, and that was a great.
This
punch.
is
Next.
this is the type of nagging that drives men to suicide.
Good. But I'm married and you're not, so. Next.
Jesus Christ. I get it. I get it.
A little harder to debate someone who's not an OnlyFans girl, right?
Oh.
Never. I don't need to. Not that I'm judging.
It's why isn't paternity fraud illegal?
It should be. If paternity fraud is happening in mass, towards men, go advocate for change, men. If that's happening like that, it should be illegal. It should. So do something about it. Make it illegal. Y'all the ones with all the power. Y'all the ones sitting in seats, making laws, running shit, right? Right? So go change it. Why is it up for a woman to do that for you? Go make it illegal.
We've been over this already.
It's estimated 6% of men are fathering children that are not theirs.
I don't really believe your stats. Like, where are you getting that
American Blood
stat
Bank
from?
Association. Are you happy?
Okay.
1/3 of
That's wrong.
paternity
And
tests.
yeah, there should be consequences for that.
But there aren't.
Okay.
But there are. Where
and there
have the
should be. So
feminists
we agree
been?
on that. Next.
Right? You can agree, but you haven't covered it. And that's my point, is you guys don't care about equality. You want freedom at the expense of men.
Okay, sure. Next.
Do you think that men
How are you guys being expensed because we have freedom? Listen, I agree. I just said that. Start the petition. Why we got to start it? Y'all the leaders. Just like y'all were suppressing and subjugating women and we had to fight for our rights and autonomy, if women en masse are doing paternity fraud to men and causing all of this pain, advocate for change. What's wrong? I will sign the petition. That is something I will get behind. I would also get behind changing laws for false accusations. I think women who do false accusations against men, or just in general, we need to get behind that too. Start it up. Start it up. Why don't y'all start these things up? What's wrong with y'all being the ones to advocate for the things that are harming you in this society? Why y'all don't never go against the system that created these things that are harming you? Do something about it so we can help you. Am I so wrong for asking that? Is that so outlandish? Is that so outlandish? We got to do everything for y'all? We got to do everything? So just say we the leaders then. Just say that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get into Pearl's response real quick. Y'all, I didn't even realize we've been on here for 2 hours. I talk way too much. So look, let's get into her response real quick, because it was certainly something to say the least. All right, let's see.
Is whining. I am a woman. Of mine.
All right, so I want to get into her response, right, to the debate she was on. First of all, you could tell this lady been crying. Okay, she been crying. She lost that debate, and she didn't know how to take it. All right, she clearly been rubbing them eyes. She's feeling embarrassed, but this response was quite interesting. He went into victim mode. Once again, y'all, thank y'all for being here. I see y'all popping in and out. If you're in the chat trying to argue with me, you could leave. If you think I'm always wrong, please go. If you keep making sexual innuendo, once I find how to moderate this shit, we'll handle that. But you don't have to be here. You can leave quietly. I'm only asking for men to advocate for themselves. I'm asking for men to advocate for themselves, and y'all saying I'm wrong. I'm asking for men to form better relationships with themselves. Right? So y'all not having this high unaliving rate, and y'all saying I'm wrong. That's fine. Wait a minute. I'm trying to save you from myself. You can't save me from nothing, baby. You can't save me from nothing. But anyway, let's get into it. So this girl, she responded after the debate. And let's just watch it.
Not to say the entire thing was an L, but there were places I wish I did more. So... But I appreciate you guys for supporting me. How do I get this to be members only? I really wanted to be members only as I talk about this. Whatever. I'm going to turn off the comments so I'm not constantly looking at the chat. So right now I'm going to turn them off because sometimes I get distracted and we just can't do that. All right. So About 2 weeks ago, I was reached out to by World War Debate, and they talked about they're launching a debate show and they wanted me to be in it. Now, at first, I was not supposed to be the headliner. I was supposed to be the opening.
You look a mess.
And I got to be honest, guys, I cannot stand debates. I hate debating.
Since when? Since when do you hate debates? When you literally hop from panel to panel. Like the praying mantis built bitch you are. All right? Like the sloth that you are. You jump from panel to panel. Creepy crawling, crypt keeper looking ass. To debate all these people with the same talking points and the same questions you asked on that stage with Anna. You love a debate. See, the thing is, you're in a space where on this internet shit, you're so polarizing that you look like you're winning debates in these spaces. And you can control the narrative because you can exit a panel anytime you want. You can drop anyone off that you don't like what they're saying. You could drop them off at any point that you want. You couldn't do that on that stage. You couldn't click weird ass pseudo intellectual stats to back up your claims. That's why you bombed, babe. But to say you don't like debating, no, just say you don't know how. And this was your proof. This was your proof.
It's not really the strongest suit of mine. So I did have a little bit of hesitation taking the debate in the first place, because I never feel like, I always have felt like debates are about being right more than getting what is accurate. And
that's how you debate. That's what you do. You don't ever say things that are accurate for the most part. And the things that are accurate the things that are somewhat accurate are kind of inflated. They can be debunked. So, but that's what you do.
And the people that win debates just tend to be people that are very good at being a bitch and arguing. And
that's you. Look ugly. Look ugly. Girl, honey, baby. That's you. You're the bitch. You're always over talking people. You're rude and you're a fucking racist. Are you describing yourself? Maybe that's what's happening right now.
In order to win debates, I've always felt like you kind of have to be a bitch back. And it's really, I understand, because I call women fat whores a lot. You would think that would come naturally to me.
You see how she got to laugh at herself? Do you see? Oh, duh, Pearl. Duh. Duh. Duh, Pearl. You should be just fine. As much shit you talk about everybody else, you should be okay. That's why you got to laugh at yourself. Because why are you crying now?
But I don't know. I've always felt like if you ever checked out my demeanor, like, you know, I might say I am fatigued of black people.
Yeah, that's bitch shit. I'm fatigued of black people. You don't even know black people like that. Shut up.
But I think people can sense in my heart, I don't have any hate towards black people. In fact, like half of the posse I showed up with was black or Dominican. You know?
Oh, I don't hate black people. My workers, the people that helped me get on this platform, the people that are elevating me, yeah, they're black and brown, so I don't hate black people at all. No, not me. Shut up. Shut up. Your mindset, your ideology, your rhetoric is all rooted in hate. All of it. You are not helping anybody. You have no heart. Your demeanor is trash. Men don't like you. Women don't like you. The only men that act like they like you are men that enjoy you talking down about other women. That's your audience. Other men that don't like women. You're not a nice girl. And your personality is trash.
What I mean? And it's like, you know what? So, and even when I call women fat whores, I've always felt like people know that, or people can understand from my demeanor. And I think that's why people follow me. I don't have any hatred in my heart towards it. I was talking to this woman that got her husband left her for like a...
But the thing is, why are you even saying that? Why are you talking about fat whores anyway? You ain't got nothing else in your bag? Who cares about the fat whores? Why they... You see what I'm saying? Like, this isn't creative.
Stripper or something the other day. And I was like, damn, it's like that sometimes. I don't have hatred in my heart towards anybody.
Yes, you do.
And
you got a lot of hate for yourself.
And I really hate conversations where I'm talking to somebody that's bitchy. I hate it. It's not my favorite thing. I don't mind, even if they're condescending, I can get through that, but I hate.
You're bitchy. You're condescending. This is a projection. You are everything you say everybody else is. You are literally a condescending bee. You literally are. Come on now, Pearl.
Yelling.
Own it.
I hate screaming. I hate it. And I know this is me giving excuses, whining. I'm a woman, right? So,
no, don't put that on a woman. You're just making excuses, and you're whining because you took that big ass L.
I was kind of hesitant to take this because I just know it's not my forte. But I heard Anna Kasparian would be my opponent, and I've really heard her speak over the years, and I was actually kind of hoping she'd be a little bit more of a moderate position, but it turns out she's still batshit insane. So I have realized that this is a necessary evil that I really just have to get, better at, and I have to get a minimum level of competence. And right now I'm just not there. I'm not a very good debater. I think I'm a good streamer. I think I'm a good storyteller. Debater is just not my best strong suit.
Oh my God. Oh boy.
Yeah, just not. And, I had someone say to me the other day that debates are really only useful when two experts are debating. And I actually think that's true. Because when two experts are debating on a topic, like if we're going to do Gaza, right? The people that go on these stages, it's usually people that represent the issues and are not directly involved. So it's just a necessary evil,
She's so sad. She's feeling really, look at her face. But the thing about it is you're making these excuses, but you're the one who didn't come prepared for a real debate, Pearl. You thought these talking points that you always use everywhere. That's why throughout the entire debate, you kept asking the same questions, same talking points. Should custody be 50-50? Do you believe in alimony? Should women go to war? You didn't have anything else. She gave you her responses, and then you completely went silent. That's because you don't even believe in a lot of the things that you claim you stand on.
Anyways, wait, should I freeze again? So anyways, I did end up taking the debate. And I said, you know what? This would be good to challenge me. It would be good for me to think through some of my opinions. And I have a bit of a stage fright. I don't think I've done a lot of stage stuff. And I think it's a little counterintuitive. You would think because I talk into the camera for a living that I would, how do I put it? That I wouldn't really have a stage fright. I wouldn't really be like, but there's something about crowds that I don't like seeing you guys This camera, perfect. I can talk. Crowd, I have a harder time. And the worst part was the crowd was the best crowd. I talked to them before.
The crowd seemed like they were all on your side. They were encouraging you because you kept bombing. It was you, babe. It wasn't the crowd. It wasn't the fact that it was a debate. It's because you came in there and you really didn't know what the hell you was talking about. And you're so rooted in being anti-woman that you can't have a real debate about the facts on what you were talking about. It's you. You're not even a good debater in these other spaces. You're not. But because you punch down on certain groups of people, you're allowed in certain spaces to take over. It's not anyone else, babe. It's you.
Or they're all so nice. They're there to see me win, the majority of the crowd. I talked to them before. It was mostly there for me. Or at least like rooting for me.
Look at her. Trying to rush. Yo, somebody just sent me a picture and I don't want to. I'm not going to put that up, but baby, don't push me.
But for some reason, I don't know, sometimes my head, it just goes blank and it was just an L. It was a complete L at parts of it. I did come.
You went blank, babe, because you were reading everything. There was nothing in your own mind. You went blank because your mind is blank. Unless you can click and read and sift through some paperwork, there's nothing there. There's no substance.
Back the second half. All right. So I took the debate partially, because it was a decent pay, partially. And I thought, we're really getting the ball rolling on this divorce documentary finally after being demonetized for 2 years. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the future. We're talking to donors and I'm like, do you know what? If I can represent these issues well and do my job, I'll be happy. I didn't, but I did my best. So for 2 weeks, I went through everything. The question, has feminism empowered women or has it led them to cultural and relational decline? And because this was a very broad question, I wasn't overly sure which direction the debate was going to go in. She's starting her opening, I'm starting my opening, and I'm like, let's just F it, take it. And so I actually made a Google Doc. And I'm actually going to show this Google Doc. Going through, everyone's saying, think through your positions. I'm actually going to show you my work. Anna Kasparian debate. I'm not going to show everything. At some point I will. But look, I made this doc here. Opening statement, cross-examination, main arguments. I had pages and pages and pages and pages of arguments.
Well, what happened? What happened? You had an opportunity to show your work. What happened?
Debates and stats. Anticipating things she might say, for hours. And they were quizzing me before the show, doing all this stuff. And what I realized I did, the biggest mistake I made was I actually spread myself too thin. I realized this after the question, and I think in the future when I go do debates, the question cannot be super broad because then I don't know what we're covering, right?
What?
So in the future.
So now it's the questions. Now it's the questions being asked. Now they got to tailor the question so it's not so broad so you can answer it?
I think I should have been more specific, right? I mean, that's me thinking. I'm not a debater for a living.
Oh, the questions you were asking.
Anyways, I will continue.
I want to get to the part where she said she was ready to throw hands.
So I'm preparing for this debate, and we start the debate show. And again, this is just not my forte. I like to talk like this. I hate bringing my voice down to talk like a man to get people to stop being mean. I hate mean people. I hate
You're mean.
having to be mean back. I hate it. I hate it in my deep, dark soul. I hate it.
Your soul is deep and dark and vacuous. It's not even deep. It's vacuous. But what? You're a meanie.
I'm just not a fan. It's just contrary to my nature, you know?
No, it's not. That's your true form. A mean, nasty, racist bee. Yeah, that's you.
And the biggest thing I don't like in debates is statistics. And this is where I know everybody's cooking me right now. And it's deserved, right?
I feel like she was finna cry. I really feel like she was about to cry right then and there on this stream. She's really embarrassed, as you should be.
So before the debate, I wanted to submit all the statistics. I wanted them all submitted ahead of time because I thought that this debate might go down so many different rabbit holes, right? It goes down all these different rabbit holes. But, you know, this was the first launch of the show, and for whatever reason, that couldn't be done. But what I don't like is in debates, the person that just says source the most and tries to discredit your statistics, they just win. And if you don't do it back, like you almost can't even have a...
That's a debate, babe. That's the debate. She came ready, but she also had the intellectual capacity to just debate you off script. You didn't have that. You didn't have anything to rebut her statistics. And every time that she asked you a question, you went silent. Where'd you get that stat from? That was you. Stuck.
Conversation because people just keep interrupting you and trying to say that you're lying and your sources are inaccurate. And when you do this for 5 years, I really do have a system for sources where I know if I'm quoting it, it's accurate and I've looked into it before. But it's very difficult over a 5-year period to remember the name, sample size, where the studies took place. Especially when you're doing 20 different topics. This isn't an excuse. It's just something I struggle with, right? And that's really where she got me, is she came out guns blazing, and we're going to react to this. So in the future, I really wish that we could have submitted the stats ahead of time and just both accepted each other's stats. But then you get into the same problem. If one person's unreasonable, they'll just discredit all of your stats. And then it just becomes whoever can recall the name of the study gets to use it. So the biggest mistake I made was and you guys won't even believe this. If you notice, the first half of the debate, I had all of my statistics printed because I knew I struggled with this.
Okay, girl, we get it.
You'll notice the second half of the debate, I came out and we're going to react to it. Didn't. So, yeah, I mean, it's just,
Let me see.
Yeah. She just relied on name calling and Botox jobs. Yeah, you know. I didn't rage quit, but do you know what I thought? There was a point where I did want to throw hands. I'm not going to lie. She's like 5'1".
Huh.
And I thought about it. I'm like,
so you want to commit violence towards this woman over words? Feminists really got your tongue. Yeah. She really ate that ass up. Cause now you want to fight? That's like something a man would do, no? You want to fight this girl. You want to throw hands because she was crushing you in this debate? That's pretty violent, Pearl. The fact you stand on all of these things that a woman should be and the qualities that she should have, it's giving man right now. It's giving boy. You want to fight? You want to throw hands? Gee.
you can talk like this to men, but I'm bigger than you. I could body you. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I know, but I have this fear in me of the police. I never want to like get in trouble in that way. But you know, I'm getting older. And have you noticed the older you get, I'm like, do you know what? I could catch a charge. Yeah, I don't know.
What?
She was a little ghetto, you know. I know I was too polite. Now, before we start reacting to the debate, I want to thank World War Debate for inviting me.
All right, that's enough of this shit. Y'all, look. This shit went a little longer than I expected. But you all see, when the girl is literally face to face with somebody that can actually debate her, it all crumbles. But that happens often with people in that space. You know, Andrew Wilson, Myron Gaines, all these people that are in her sphere that go and say these things about women or just stats that are just not accurate, and they just throw them out there when they're met with somebody that can actually rebuttal it and challenge their thought process. You see what happens in real time. You see what happens in real time. Take that L, Pearl. Take it. Take it. We don't need no explanations. We don't need any more explanation tours. It was an L. It was a doozy. It was a doozy. You froze on stage in front of people. It's going to be hard to come back from that. But you know, you live and you learn. But this just proves that you lack depth. You lack substance and intelligence when it comes to these things. I'm not saying I'm a great debater either. I'm never claiming that. But I know what I know. And I speak on what I know. There are a lot of things that you speak on that you don't know about. Right? But because it lands well with a certain group of people, that's why you run with it. And I just think that's pathetic. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's weird. But that's all I got for y'all tonight, y'all. We've been here for almost 3 hours. Only 3 hours. Almost 3 hours talking about this girl. I end up talking to y'all too in the chat. I want to thank y'all so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to be more consistent. Hopefully you like this stream. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I go live again. I will be back soon. I will be back very soon. I got more content coming on the way. Once again, it's your girl Jazz. I'm signing out, but I will see you again. Wait, you said should have covered Corey and Anton? Listen, I wanted to, but we here too long. If I do that, we're going to be here for another 3 hours. I talk too much about this girl Pearl, so maybe I'll do a random stream tomorrow or something and go live and talk about the aftermath of that, because I definitely got something to say. Some more to say about that as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this stream about this topic. I will see you next time. Peace out. Bye.